Hey guys, so before I start my look today, I did apply moisturizer on my face. That way my skin is all moisturized, and it helps also with makeup application because you don't want a dry face at all. After my moisturizer got into my skin, I used our primer. Primer, what it can do is it will help fill in fine lines and wrinkles, so when you apply your foundation isn't settling into those fine lines. It will also keep your makeup looking beautiful all day long. So primer is very good if you want to have flawless skin. Hey guys, I'm going to be using two types of foundation today in two colors. I mean, it's the same foundation, just two different colors. My original color is Chiffon. I tend to burn in the summer right here on my cheeks, so I have pink undertones, so this is usually my color. I'm also going to add in some satin. This is a little bit of a darker shade. And I'm going to be using our foundation brush. If you ever need help with color matching, you'll want to send me a picture outside in natural lighting or inside the house with the sun coming in on your face from the window. You don't want to take a picture with makeup on or in the bathroom. I've already kind of shook these up. Anytime you use our liquid foundations, you always want to drop everything out of the dropper and shake them up. Okay, shaking those up. And I'm going to dip two of this color and two of the darker color. So I'll do like that much, okay? And I'm just going to put that on my face. Like that. I'm just going to blend that in. The thing I like about our brush is that it makes it very easy to blend in your makeup. And our liquid foundation is buildable. It's kind of a medium coverage, but you can always build it up. You don't need to put it on your eyes because you're going to be using like eye makeup, but I'm just so used to doing it that I still do that. So what can you do? You always want to go on your neck so you don't have two colors, right? And I'm going to put a little bit more. Two of that color and two of that color. So that was my foundation. Like I said, you can always build it up if you like. You can also use powder foundation over your foundation if you like. And since I haven't really shown you the powder for foundation formula, I'll put it on over this here, like so. It has like a mesh kind of thing right there. And with our powder foundations, you want to buy one color lighter than what you usually are. Like I got the chiffon, but it's a little bit darker than the foundation itself, than the liquid foundation. So if you end up getting the powder foundation, you want to get one shade lighter than you usually get. And of course, you don't have to use like all this foundation and stuff. I just am using it to show you guys the coverage. Next, I'm going to be using our concealer. This is the color Chiffon. If you like, you could use this to build up your foundation to a more heavy coverage if you get the same color as your foundation. I made the mistake and got the same color as my foundation when I wanted to use it to highlight. If you're wanting to use it to highlight, you'll want to get one shade lighter. If you ever need any help with color matching or anything, just let me know. I'm just going to show you how I put on, and you don't need a whole lot for this. Let's see. And you want to do it kind of like in a triangle motion. Okay. I look like a crazy, but I'm not. I'm going to use this foundation brush just to help blend it. And I'm going to be using my beauty blender. See, I used way too much, I think. Yeah. So you don't need a whole lot, as you can see, to highlight. And this right here I'm using is our foundation brush. And I've already wet the beauty blender. You always want to wet it first. It's just gonna help blend into your face. Just kind of want to push it in there. Then you want to set the, where you've highlighted, you want to set it with a powder so that way it stays on all day. Since putting a powder over highlight will keep it in place for you all day. Today I'm going to use our new Splurge cream. This is in the color Unfazed. With our cream shadows, you do not need an eye primer. So I'm just going to go in there with my finger because I know my fingers have been washed. And I'm just going to apply it right onto my lid. Very pretty color for underneath other makeup. Cream shadows are very easy to use with your finger. You don't really need like any crazy makeup brush or anything like that to put them on. Finger always works good for me. You can also use these Splurge creams for liner, and they stay all day. All the products that I use on my face today is Younique. If I ever use anything that isn't Younique, I will let you know. You could use this all by itself on its own. I've seen people with it just on its own. It looks gorgeous. But I'm going to be using a makeup palette, an eyeshadow palette. And I'm going to be using number 5. And I think I'm going to use today the color Fear.
You always want to tap, 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 make sure so you don't get fallout. Purples look really great on everyone, but they especially look great with people with brown eyes. Now all our shadows have really great pigment. You don't need a whole lot to work with them. That's what's great about them. So yeah, that's what I like about our eyeshadows. They're easy to blend with. And with any of our products, if you don't like something, you get something you don't like it, we do have our 14-day guarantee. No questions asked. And I'm going to be using palette number 1. I'm going to go in here with this color, Elated. I just like to blend it over into the top so you don't have any harsh lines. And I'm going to go in, I think I will go in with, I'm just going to use 2 colors today. I'm going to go in with this Brilliant. pigmented that is, and that is just, you know, applying it dry. If you were to apply that with rose water or a setting spray, or even like water if you like, you're going to get more pigment out of that. And what I'm going to do also, I'm going to use a little bit of rose water on my brush and then bring back the purple. So I wetted my brush with rose water and then I go back with the purple. Look how pretty that color is. Okay. And I'm going to use a brush. I'm going to use this one. This one's a Luxie tapered blending brush. I'm just going to blend in the colors. Little circles.
Okay, everything's blended out. I'm going to use a little bit more of the elated. Just to clean it up a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to go in with a pencil brush. I just have this little pencil brush from Sonia Kashuk. I'm going to go in with that purple, that Fearless, and I'm going to put underneath my eyes. I'm just doing this, guys.
Now I just need to find my brow brush. spoolie.